All right, we'll start with yes. Work our way to SPY. Look at a few options on this crazy day we had. Like always set up my day the same exact way. Keeps me from charting all day long. Get your right overnight highs, lows, mid, yesterday's highs, low, mid. Get your opening print. Get yesterday POC, and you got the initial balance, which is chart at 9. We chart at 10:30. So go ahead and knock those out. Pretty simple. Takes about 5 minutes to chart. Get overnight low. What the? Right highs. I didn't do the mids. I'm gonna chart the mid. Take yesterday's candle. I just take the fib. Makes it a lot easy. Now it's the green dot. The rest of the price action, and then we're gonna look at yesterday's POC, which usually acts as a magnet and usually wants to return to it. So a pretty solid bounce from today. Basically, we got this set up overnight highs, overnight overnight mid, overnight low. I have last week's low here also, kind of using it as my range. Take our range here, but I'm just using overnight last week's low. We have this pivot right here, which above that, everyone wants to say fair value gaps, whatever this is. Whatever you want to call it, this is a pretty strong sell off. So, of course, we're going to probably recover some of that if they don't really grab here. And this is where I got into that SPY put. It was a good time for here. Overall, had the downtrend going. I always watch what kind of trend we are going into open. Kind of going into open, we had kind of two different downtrends. Pretty steep one here. And then we also had kind of overnight high and kind of Europe high downtrend. Whatever happens pre-market, I always kind of take it with a grain of salt. If I could like remove the candles and whatever happens with that Europe and jobs and whatever came in today, I'd just completely remove it and just let market open. Be your reason to get into a play. If you just use the market open today, there's no reason to short until we're well way up here. Let's just fast forward a little bit and see what we're doing. Let's just mark up opening print. What I like to do, you can do quick scalps on opening print. Yesterday, I learned my long off opening print that we held. Opening print's just at 9:30. I was due and a candle 9:30. And what I try to stay bullish if we're above it, and try to stay bearish if we're below it. With us, the news, I was gonna just let the market decide. I was doing my best just to wait things out and whatnot. Um, that was my plan going into today. A lot of the bank news, a lot of news going on. News. So today, pretty much, we hit that news open. We had our uptrend, then we had a little downtrend, and then we just took off from there. But pretty much staying bullish above that opening print, probably about that 5 minute. This was kind of the only candle closing below opening print, but also our low days right here. This is what I'm saying. We never made a new low day. There's no reason to short it. We'll go we'll go through the whole day and kind of just show you why. We basically held opening print. We held our 9:30 candle. We wicked overnight lows. Yesterday's POC right here basically used was a magnet overnight, and we're holding it. So everything kind of pointed towards the bullish side. We had this beautiful downtrend break off the bat. You turn up the volume, kind of push decent volume going into that breakout. Volume's been like really stupid lately, so really haven't been watching it. And then we hit 9. Here's our initial balance. Initial balance is basically your 9:30, 10:30, your first hour candle. What I like to do is kind of just look at what we're doing in that first hour to even get more bias. Basically just here from 9:30 to 10:30. What's our bias here? It's really not showing anything. Not, I wouldn't say it's bullish. I wouldn't say it's bearish, but we are able to hold that 39.08. We should head up towards and take out that initial balance high. Red open, you can tell half back. I always use half back. This is the 0.5 fib from yesterday's candle. You always have that on your chart. If we open below yesterday's candle, are we going to get sellers? Basically, if we're opening below yesterday's candle, are we getting sellers? We're opening right in the smack dab in the middle of yesterday's candle. Are the algos going to sell it? Had one decent bounce. Pretty much that half back was a nice resistance. Became a support here. We broke down. Was another resistance. We finally broke up. There's our one downtrend break. We had that one downtrend break set up. Pretty solid there. Here's our another bigger time frame downtrend. Right here we had this one. So we had overnight high, Europe high. Broke here. Then we were able to break this big one from March 10th, and that's another downtrend. We broke basically 3 downtrends overall. Yesterday, actually, I'm going to mark up yesterday's close. Yesterday's close is always a pretty solid spot mark. All +4. I like to use yesterday's close kind of as a pivot. You see a lot of those charts that put out on those fractals. We'll use the yesterday's close as a pivot. So I'm watching what basically watching yesterday's close was a decent bounce here was almost resistance, and pretty much the break of yesterday's close is another good spot. Downtrend break of yesterday's close right here. We're rejected here. So we rejected yesterday's close, came down, and broke it. the rejection and not making a new low, just showing we want to continue higher. We want to continue higher. From there, if you wanted to chase, chasing is always always tough. If you miss this initial move, you had this downtrend, but this is what I use the extensions on the initial balance. Levels up. So I just do, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.53, and basically use these as levels. It works out pretty well. So just taking it level to level, we'll hit a level right here, reject, broke through this level, waiting for it to break through. We broke through up to this level. We want to break through this level right here. 77, 91. If you're playing futures, playing 0-day SPY, pretty solid move here. The only other kind of chasing play I saw was just kind of this, look for downtrends, kind of flags. If we were able to flag into a resistance, better. Right there, the full flag simulation up. But we are a 3.5x initial balance. Once we get past 2, 3, we're kind of overextended. I always say the upper targets are hit. I think right here, going long here is super, super risky, but you can still make money. A lot of people, I was reading chat, a lot of people paper-handed. What do you want to say? Paper-handed. One thing I always like to do, setting up, when I should sell, I paper hand. When I hit 50%, I'm happy. I'm not shooting for a Twitter post or anything like that. Yeah, I think my NVIDIA went 400% after I sold it. My AMD this week went probably 3,000%. I'm not really looking at that. I hit my exit strategy and I look on to the next play. So something I've learned is you kind of put it, if you're in futures here, I have to keep off. If you're able to hold on to longer, kind of put your stop at a pivot, below a pivot. Put your stop here. There's no reason to go out. If you went long at open, your stop's down here. You would have never been hit. There's a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You just keep moving your stop losses up. Higher low. And basically, no. There was no, never change your structure, break your structure, whatever, Stratton, ICT people call it. There's no reason technically to get out. So I'd like to use that. Unfortunately, that one red candle, like probably this one, I would have stopped out and took my profit and walked away. But also, if you use the kind of like an EMA, this is the 1334 on the 10-minute, which is the Ripster EMA clouds. Pop those up. But I don't ever chart on the 10-minute. So I like this, my algo a little bit better because it stays 10-minute no matter what time frame. So basically, you're riding this EMA wave up, and basically the only time to actually get out of it probably would have been right here. So if you went long and open, like the only time that would have scared me was right there. So you had those paper hands. Yes, we are upper range, lower range, back and forth, but technically the market gave us no reason to go short, no reason to no reason to take profit. You do VWAP, of course, we never even got close to mean reverting back to the VWAP. But like I say, you could grab shorts here and make money, grab puts here and make money. You could have grabbed a put here and made money. But looking at a lot of people grabbing calls, there's no reason Also, another thing I'll do if you don't like those, I kind of use Fibonacci's that I'm really working on to make to work better on, and that's what I'm going to go through options, go through a bunch of Fibonacci's and options, and what I saw today. But what I like to do, if we do get long, or if I do get long here, I basically take your swing low to swing high, Fibonacci. I do Z50. But also, let's put that. And basically, on the 1 minute, we didn't close below that 0.68. So we got along here. There was no reason to get out, and we could have wrote it up even here. But if you're playing options, best profit probably would have been there. Probably would have been a little bit more red there. Kind of looking at same thing here. If you got long here, you see a pullback, take your fib. If your pullback comes and you go red, you can even add to your contract there to continue up. That's pretty much on ES. Pretty crazy day. You're looking at the higher time frames. Kind of last week we did sell off super hard. So, when we do sell off hard, they kind of have to revert back up. So what I'm looking for on the daily is what are they going to do? We kind of are on SPY. We're kind of rejecting this area. I'll show you that on SPY. Like this. A little darker for the actual here. So those are kind of our supply zones up where we had these daily candles are strong. Sellers came in. But I think overall, this selling was just a little bit too strong. That's where the fair value gaps, you guys see fair value gaps this, and looks like we're kind of rejecting that fair value gap on the daily. But that's what I like to use kind of anytime we sell off strong, you'll see us kind of retrace back up and then sell off strong again, which is basically just traps. If you look for traps, I think we're still heading down, but the market's just trying to trap people in. Basically, on the daily, we made a new monthly low. On March here, and we're kind of off the races. We want to take the swing low, swing high here. E50, we did break the low. That one. Swing low to swing high here. Basically held it. A lot of bottom wicks probably on data, but decent move up. That's what we want to see. Nice strong move up, retracement, move up. Here's what we're looking at like on SPY. Hitting that doji. But also, if you're looking at SPY, look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 basically green candles. These green candles are all over the place. It's just showing like we opened up low and they're able to push it up. Opened up low, push it up. Opened up low, we pushed it up. And then finally, we opened up an average place and pushed up really strong. So this whole 4 last days, bulls have been strong, even though we're opening up minus, 1% or 2%. We've been opening up a couple days. They're still buying in. That's what it looked like there. Some option plays. If we do, I'm actually looking for a possible gap fill down here. Never happened. What I like to do for options is kind of just find a range and then a breakout of that range. We tell Apple here, all this. Basically, Apple, since last Monday, Since Monday, you've been ranging. What do you want to do? You want to look for kind of a breakout? Did we retrace back to the range? Not really. Kind of like right there in 1 minute. But this is always good to look at for options. I love playing options like this, where we just have a range. Here's your high. Here's your high. High. Obviously, this 153.3 is a really, really strong level. Look at that today. You just look at that 153 consolidation under it. AMD. I'm actually like really kind of confused about AMD. This has been a straight beast mode. This purple line is yesterday's close. You can tell yesterday's close kind of held as a nice pivot. Always keep yesterday's close as a pivot. So AMD kind of just, I don't, it just baffles me. This thing was, a lot of people say overpriced, hitting 178, and then, people took it down, they took it down to 52, and now we're back up to 100. So pretty crazy day on AMD. Pretty much here's our range. And then look what we did at open. Came down straight down to 88.94. Touch it, continued up. That's what you want to see if we gap up above. We broke above it, tested it perfectly. Today we came down to it, looks like that. So, if you do have time to chart, always look for this stuff. You'll see there's your, this previous range. We broke over 78.5. Another beautiful, strong move up. You'll always see strong moves up. Strong move up. Here's a consolidation down. And then probably going to make another strong move up. Always something you want to watch. Of course, it's really hard to figure out which way we're going to break here. So, the Fed. Swing low to swing high. We did break below, but we didn't know. Next day we did test it, so that really didn't work out. So the fibs really didn't work out on this one, but pretty strong move on AMD in the video because it's doing sector in the video. I mean, this thing is just in straight beast mode. I'll show you the best time you should have everyone gotten AMD for the video, even on a higher time frame. Look at this higher time frame. I have this indicator inside bar alert. Gives me all the inside bars. This was not showing it, but this is a beautiful strong move down inside bar. Look at that end. Crazy move up. Look at it on the daily. What's it look like on the daily? Just consolidation. There's your range. What did we do after that range? We broke up. The video, everyone wants to play these gap fills. I don't play gap fills. So the video on earnings, I always call it a boner candle. You take your swing low to swing high on that initial low, your high here. It even come down to retrace that 0.5. That's how strong it's showing. Basically, the video, just the same thing as put these highs There's your 3 levels we're working at. Came down, touched this one, created one here. We came back, tested this, which was this resistance. But also, we kind of created a 2-day range right here, so we could, box that up. And what do we do the next day? We came down and retested that. So buyer sellers struggle here, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They will push it up. They're gonna come back here. Buyer's gonna be like, okay. And like ICT, I don't know why I'm referencing that a lot because I don't like ICT. But if we take our fib, swing low, and swing high here, we basically almost retrace back into that 0.5, which we didn't. I mean, we didn't really get a nice strong move up. I'd like to see kind of like that. Would have been perfect. And another huge strong move up in the video. It just hit my final PT today. That's why I exited. But looking overall, I mean, there was no reason to exit the video. Higher lows all the way up. This thing just did not stop. EMAs, we rode that 15 all the way up. So mind the video, I should have closed at open. I actually really wanted yesterday puts on the video. Then I want to call. We had, looking at this right here. We broke down. Unfortunately, AMD looked strong when I was looking at this. I didn't go ahead with it. We had a decent breakdown, beautiful retest, and then a continuation. So I was looking at what's there, but we did come down all the way to 1 hour. If we had this level marked up, former resistance, kind of right there. We basically almost came down to it. So my PT would have been around 290. We hit 290, 233. We hit 233.5. So, going into the play, you always want to mark up your support resistances. Let's see what it looks like with regular trading hours. Everyone's like, "Oh, gap fill." Like, I don't play gap fill. I don't believe in them. There's your, hour gap. We didn't fill it. We almost filled half of it. So we're hitting that resistance. Amazon. I haven't looked at Amazon. I'm not even gonna look at Amazon. I really haven't been looking. Google. I really want to go long Google. I probably only profited today. Overall, Google. When I'm looking at this, we just had a sell off with that chat or Bing or whatever service they had. It sold off because it gave the wrong answer. So it's just too strong of a sell off. But this was like the only strong move up. Down, decent move up, but kind of same thing. We had this chop area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days sideways. Broke up, we came back up, tested it, continued up. I just basically took the fibs from your high to your low here. Yeah, alerted Google here. Get a nice, beautiful, strong move up. If you look at that purple line, yesterday's close. Look at that hold of yesterday's close. Meta's kind of one reason why you don't play a gap. If you play this gap fill, you got destroyed. Meta, there's that earnings candle. Always take kind of the boner candle. What I do sometimes I take the initial candle or the initial strong move up, taking a strong move down, and like a meta swing here would have been absolutely crazy. Meta, just technical. Look at this downtrend. Broke it today. Off the races. Hop on the 15-minute. There's that downtrend break. The top of this beginning of the downtrend, we were able to hold with this 189.80. Hold. Continue up. I thought Meta did a lot better. Overall, Meta crazy up. Tesla, probably the really boring one of the bunch. But Tesla, has been fun. Kind of glad it's chilling. I'm actually waiting for kind of the swing low to swing high retracement, which does coincide with the gap. So I'm going to see if it's going to reject the gap, come down, fill the gap. But I will be looking to grab kind of some decent long swings. That's what I'm looking at on Tesla. Coin something that's been going crazy, kind of off my watch. And let's see what it's doing last day. Start the chart from fresh. Kind of like the 4 hours. I was like looking at 4-hour levels. I don't really see anything like crazy. Again, I had this the other week. It didn't really last. I had this downtrend where it broke out here for a day and then just came down. The coin, let's look at it on the daily. Let's look at it on higher time. Coin's always monthly. 2 down month, 3 up. Not really showing much weekly. Weekly could go outside. That's very interesting. Coin has a good day tomorrow. You can tell, look on coin on the weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Just chilling. Not really. Or 7 weeks. Really going crazy. So if it breaks that range, it's going to be crazy. But that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been kind of in between, 17 and 20. So I'll look at that on coin. I don't really see anything out of ordinary. Get Netflix. Move all the drawings. Monthly. Just showing a big sell off. Let's see where it retraces. A lot of weekly. There's kind of showing our sell off of a range, then a sell off. Then this range, that's where we kind of reject it. So if you want to become like a swing trader again, this is probably good swing. It's always hard to swing. I want to start getting back into it, but every time I do it, it just goes the opposite way. And then not really nothing on the daily. These charts are not looking so hot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 days sideways. So break, really a break and retest of 299, 300 would have been a great entry. For a couple more tickers. Stop no. Amazon. I'm big on Amazon. I like it. Amazon Shop. I think it's good long term. I don't think online e-commerce, e-commerce is going anywhere. There's always going to be online shopping. I always try to, if you want long term, I always look for that. But definitely a strong move. I want to see what Amazon will do and continue the strong move. Basically, that break over that 97. We could have did 97. We could have taken it down to like right here, 96.5. Pretty decent strong move. Downtrend too. Downtrend retest break for that. That would have been a crazy good play. I need to start charting more. 6% point move. Pretty solid move. VIX. VIX just keeps rejecting 30. So when VIX rejects 30, I'm gonna start looking to go long. There's one strong rejection, two strong rejections. But that's going to look a good SPY. SPY break finally broke out the range. Anything? Are we gonna continue higher, or what I like to do is, we do have this chop box. Something about chop boxes I always try to watch is, so overall this chop box are where we are. What's our trend? Our trend is down. Trend down. We hit the chop box, we chop. Are we gonna have a false breakout and then continue our trend down? The previous chop box did break above it. We're actually back to that top. So that was, one of the reasons I went long. Kind of lower time frame really works out well if you do that chop box. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, 5 seconds. Questions? I think has any guy. All right, got one. All right, y'all have a good one.